country is not able to do that.
To the Facebook, it's possible to mark it. It's possible.
Good morning, good afternoon, sorry. Good evening, our viewers. Welcome to this show. And today we are having a very interesting discussion here at St. Martin. And just to say that currently we are in the progress of implementing our youth skills empowerment program. And it's becoming very interesting. And today we are having a very nice discussion on what is the role of, or what is the part of youth skilling in addressing the issues of unemployment that we're observing in the youth. And today we want to have just a discussion on what that is and what the role of this project will be. And this project has started already, and we are in the, Paul, we are in which month? The third month. And we have a lot of desires, a lot of opportunities in this training. And today I introduce my panelists, and we are having a very interesting discussion. And from my left here, I have a lady, and they will tell us who they are, what their relationship is into this project, and what kind of perspective that they are bringing in this discussion. So welcome, Sarah.
Asante sana. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah. Welcome. I'm originally from Germany. I'm here since 1.5 years, and I'm part of the youth project. And my perspective is I'm an educationalist, and my perspective is on competency-based education.
Okay. Welcome.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm Duncan Kimari. I'm a chef by profession. I operate here in Nairobi town. I'm a proprietor of a street restaurant here called Cafe Genesis. We serve meals to people around the town. We also do outdoor activities. We manage events. That is tents and all other activities like public entry systems and mobile looms. And we going to engage the youth in those activities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amman. Mr. Ndeti, you can introduce yourself.
Good evening, viewers. My name is James Ndeti. I'm in charge of vocational education and training in the Laikipia County. And under this program, I'm bringing the view of the county government, how it looks on it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ndeti. Paul.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Paul Madufi, and I'm happy for this show. I work here in St. Martin, and in this project, I am one of the staff while implementing this project. And the contribution that I will be making in this show is from the HR perspective, as in the mind of the HR in this discussion.
Okay, thank you very much, my panelists. And maybe I go straight to Mr. Ndeti, because we are talking about skills training. And maybe a lot of people are asking, what is this vocational skills training that we hear about? How is it different from anywhere, any other training? So let us understand, so introduce what is vocational skills training, and in this context, in Laikipia, what are we talking about?
Thank you. I think in a very simple way, vocational training, it's actually imparting hands-on skills. That process, once you get the skills actually to do the traditional courses which we already know. Talk about carpentry, talk about hairdressing, talk about dressmaking. It is actually what we are talking about, the vocational skills.
Okay. So thank you very much, and our viewers want to encourage you. You can interact us on our page. Somebody is going to be looking at those comments. So let us make it as interactive as it can be. And we know that currently we have there's this big debate of vocational skills training, the opportunities it has in Kenya, and as an economic driver, so a lot of youths are being encouraged. And you look at the news, and every day we are talking about vocational training. We are talking about curriculum development. We are talking about CBET, and Sarah will be talking about that. And maybe Sarah, you can tell us. You have interacted currently with our vocational centers, because you are working in two of them, in Laikipia, that is Nyahururu and Rinduti. You have had a chance to go there. Maybe you can just share, what have you observed in terms of methodologies that they are teaching with, and what do you observe as the strengths, and also what are the limitations?
Yes, what I can observe when I visit the centers is, of course, there are practical lessons. Maybe the audience here don't know. We have practical lessons, but we also have theory, and we have general subjects, such as life skills or entrepreneurship skills. So when I observe the practical lessons, I find that they are very, very good. But when it comes to theory lessons, or when it comes to life skills lessons, I found that the teachers or the instructors there, they mainly use teacher-centered methods. What does it mean? Everyone knows teacher-centered methods.
Maybe you can tell us what that is, because this is what you are used to.
So this is what everyone is used to here in this context. And even in former times in Europe, it was also the case. The teacher is the one who has the knowledge, and then teachers impart the knowledge to the learner. This is the understanding of teacher-centered education. But we know that this doesn't work. We don't learn that way. We can't learn that way, because if you remember in your school time, you memorize something. But this is not a skill. This memories, what can you do with the memorized content? You went after one examination, you forgot, isn't it? And is it worth it? So that's why we talk about competency-based education, which is more than only knowledge acquiring. And teacher-centered education is that the teacher just talks. The teacher talks, this is a concept I want to teach today, and blah, blah, blah. And then what I also saw in the vocational training centers is, of course, I engage them a little bit in question and answers, but maybe not enough. We can do more, because we want our trainees to have some skills. Because if you go out there and you have a plumber, the plumber needs more than technical skills. The plumber also needs some soft skills to talk to the people, for communication, for problem solving. So what we can do is more. So it has the limitations. When we have only teacher-centered methods, the pupils or the trainees are not able to build really knowledge and acquire some skills.
I think we can come back to that, but allow me at this point to, I know Paul has been in this organization for a while. He has been a supervisor, whereby he's dealing directly with people, but also he's now in the HR field. He has participated in so many interviews. Maybe he can share with us what is he observing in terms of when the young people come and they are presenting themselves into interviews for jobs and for employment. What is it that you are seeing? What trends, what observations can you make? Is there a change? Because maybe me and you belong to a system, a system that is very different from what now is. Maybe just give your experience and just share.
Well, my experience that I have lived for quite many years now, you find when these young people come and present themselves, we start interacting with them from their CVs. You know, this is what they normally present to us. And you find this is where we start noting the gaps. Like, for example, they are not able to express themselves through writing. And I think you are able to see through the papers that maybe this one is actually missing something. Because you find as a graduate, maybe graduating from VTCs, someone who has been in class, theoretically, practically, and cannot be able to express himself in writing, then there is a problem. From there, we interact with them through the interview, one-on-one, whereby now we sit down, there you are, here I am, the panel is here. And one thing that I have noted over the time is lack of courage. And courage is very, very important when it comes to the competition in the market. Because again, it actually portrays the kind of a person you are in terms of the future employee, even from that particular interaction section. And again, you find when it comes to expression is also another challenge that we do see, especially when we have this first encounter with them. And this is in terms of them presenting whom they are, in terms of what they have in terms of skills, what they have in terms of expertise. They are not able to express themselves very, very well. But now from there, you find there is that lucky one who will come and join the team. You find most of them have maybe say up to 87%. So based on the previous studies which have been done, they have this overconfidence that they know a lot. As in from the theoretical classes.
But maybe that is better than not having confidence.
Yes.
Or maybe you're able to tell us why you need a balance.
Yes, and then you find this overconfidence, they rely much on what they have gotten from the class, from the practical experience. But again, you find for us in the human resource, we have a different mind. Almost 50% of us, we have a different view. And now this is where we have a gap. As in, for them, they are, as in, I have a degree, I have a certificate, I have a diploma, I'm well cooked.
Paul, you have an advantage that I know you are very passionate about IT and ICT.
Yes.
So you have an advantage of engaging young people, even in practical skills.
Yes.
So I know you have had applications for people to work in the ICT field,
yes.
In this organization, and you have the advantage of being their supervisor.
Yeah.
So tell us, so how does it get? Do you get a gap from what somebody has presented and what they're able to?
Yes, because you find when it comes to their papers, they write a lot of things. Maybe I know how to do a proposal, I know how to do, how to operate a machine, but in reality, you find those technical skills are missing. As in this candidate is saying that I'm well endowed in this. But the moment you give an assignment, you see there is a problem. As in this youth or this candidate has not actually acquired the level in which we, the industry, the employers really want. Because the assumption is that they have been fully cooked. But now when it comes to the reality, you find you need to invest a lot of time to put this youth, this candidate to the level that you want. So in terms of technical skills is also another thing altogether.
There's something that maybe I can just mention, and maybe later either you or Sarah is going to maybe share or maybe just say something about it. We were having a discussion this morning with my colleague. In fact, Mr. Kimathi was there when we had this discussion. And we were asking ourselves the patience of the young people to get a job done. Over time, we notice that it's diminishing. You give a young person a task to do, and it requires to sit down and to follow through. Within no time, it's no longer interesting. It's no longer challenging. Maybe later you can address yourself to that. But for now, Mr. Ndeti, maybe you can talk to us about the policy framework in Laikipia County as a county, and what is there in terms of vocational training.
Okay. One of the best document we use is a policy guide to guide the vocational training. We have the Tibet Act of 2013. That we use as a policy document to guide, especially on registration. We already have registered 10 institutions, vocational training centers. The same Tibet Act is the one which licenses. There is the registration and there is the licensing of the particular courses. We already have licensed almost 12 courses. Then there is accreditation. Still on the same Tibet Act, it guides on governance and management. You see, every center has to be managed by a board of governors. They must be appointed. There is a way they are supposed to be appointed. We normally use 6 categories to appoint this board of governors. Then, in this act, it has so many components. We might not implement each and every one, but those are the particular document which guides is the framework which normally controls, guides, and ensures the vocational training centers are actually operating under the law.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe as we continue the discussion, maybe Mr. Ndeti, you can share with us maybe later what needs to be done to ensure that that framework is enriched and is enhanced. But now we go to Mr. Kimathi, and Mr. Kimathi in his introduction talked that he's in the hospitality industry. We have known him to be a chef, and every time we see events, and he's there behind the scenes and ensuring that things are being done. Maybe Mr. Kimathi, tell us how vocational training has shaped your career in hospitality. Maybe you can just share very briefly what your experience has been, where you started, where you worked, and where you are now as an entrepreneur.
Thank you. Within 1 year, I was a sous chef.
Mm-hmm.
That is an assistant chef in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how I started my journey. After 2 years, they took me to Italy to do some short course. And from there, I did a few short courses here and there. Mm-hmm. And that is how I started. By 1990, I was I could manage a kitchen on my own.
Mm.
So some advertisement came up for Egerton University. They needed workers.
Mm.
So I applied. I did my interview, and I went through.
Mm.
So I was employed as the head chef in Egerton University and posted to Laikipia campus.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's why I landed in Nauru. We came here to start the Laikipia campus, and I worked there for around 16 years. And along the way, I also thought of trying to introduce, when I saw this town, the way it was growing, I started outdoor activities slowly. In fact, I went door to door. I could tell people I can make snacks for their kids for going to school, and I had quite a number of households, I think almost 10. I could do the snacks in the weekend, and that's how I started getting known around the town. So by around 2002, I started seeing like I can do that business alone and leave the job because it had peaked. So I started doing my exit plans. By 2005, I left and started Cafe Genesis. Yeah.
That
So-
is 2005.
And 5. Yeah, by the end of 2005.
Because I've been in this town from 2008, and that
You
cafe
found
has
me,
been
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know whether we see a journey of Mr. Kimathi. Maybe coincidentally he found himself in it, maybe he didn't quite plan to be, but he has kind of coined a career in it. But in it I see a journey of other skills. I see presentation skills, because how did you even go to, I need a job? Can you, presentation, negotiation, entrepreneurship, and Sarah maybe now coming
Yes.
to you.
Yes.
So tell us, what can be done? What gaps do you observe already, and how can we enhance the training so that we can have many Mr. Kimathis, and even better Mr. Kimathis,
Yes.
even in our centers and in our towns and in our community.
Yes, first of all, his example shows very well that we need to encourage the youth.
Yes.
So there was someone who saw that you are good at something. So we need these people.
Yes.
We need mentors.
Mhm.
We need to encourage our youth, and very often it's not done. So what else do we need? We need to empower them, give them skills, give them opportunities to learn and to interact with each other. If we can come back to the teacher-centered way. They don't learn to interact, they don't learn to communicate, but if you want some soft skills, even entrepreneurship skills, you can't learn theoretically. An entrepreneur does this and it doesn't stick to you. So you have to do something practical, and you have to develop your skills, and this is through different teaching methods. You encourage them to through different teaching methods, so that they have to discuss in groups, or they have to discover a concept by their own, maybe even entrepreneurships. They can walk around the town and ask people like Mr. Kimathi. We ask them, how did you start your business? What was any? So that they learn through research, that they have questions, they are active. You only can develop skills if you're active.
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, if you're involved in
Yes. If
in
not,
it,
it's not. If you just sit there and listen to something and you don't develop the skills. So I think that's time that we go further and we really engage them in different activities. And actually today I had a training, Mr. Nditi was there, and I'm very positive that the instructors are taking it on board. They have to change a bit, but I think they are able to.
Maybe you can tell us, for us to have this well-rounded graduate who comes out of VTC. VTC here means Vocational Training Center. For us to have that well-rounded person who comes out and is marketable, is being highly sought after by the industry. We have worked a lot on the theory. This is how you make a dress. What else? What other skills are we looking at? What other skills is this project coming to value add in the training process?
Yes, the skills I already mentioned, entrepreneurship skills. We will even have a competition that they have to come up with their own business or ideas or something like that. So they develop the skills. The communication skills they can develop through communicating with each other. I discussed with the instructors as well that we can have debate clubs or whatever.
Yeah.
things like that, which is possible. So there are a lot of ideas. We just have to put it into practice, so that they are equipped with many skills, even the writing skills maybe, but especially presenting yourself. If you knock at the door and say, "Oh, I want to offer something," nobody will. Yes, you have to be
confident.
Confident.
You know.
And actually, when I was told that the self-confidence was destroyed very much in the education system, that's what I was told here. So that very often in vocational training, there are youth who maybe were told, "Oh, you are you're not clever enough."
You know, in Kenya, Kenya we have a saying, "Mwalimu wa maths." You know, I have a colleague called Morris, and he always tells me that he was lucky that he never had a mwalimu wa maths. Mwalimu wa maths is mathematics teacher in quotes, and is used to to show those people that kind of showed you that you will not amount to anything. And so the people nowadays are saying, so they post a picture and they're like, "Mwalimu wa maths, niambie hapa ni wapi?" Ukisema sitaenda mbali. But I think more and more we need to have people who instill in the young people, instill in the children that you're capable,
yes.
You're worthy, you're valued, you'll amount to a lot. And more we need to have our children, even parents, and by the way we are going to talk to parents maybe in this show or even in the coming shows, that they can affirm and they have that responsibility to affirm their children. But even if you are an instructor, whether you're at work or at school, you have that other role of maybe, I don't know whether you want to confirm what Sarah is saying. What skills are you looking at? When you have a position, you know, there's the skill set, but there's the skill set that you can present on paper, but there is also the skill set that you observe in a person. What is it that you are looking at in the current market? And maybe to share about, I've heard employers talk about these days you are looking at people who can do many things.
Many things.
Not only one thing.
Many
So
things.
maybe you can talk about that.
Just to affirm what Sarah is talking about, we really see a lot of, a huge gap when it comes to communication, as I say. And every employer has this desire that the person that I'm bringing on board will be able to communicate. Communicate to who? Maybe to the beneficiaries in case of St. Martin, maybe to the customers in case of Mr. Kimathi, maybe to stakeholders in case of maybe, for example, the county government. Communication is very integral when it comes to the business. Madam Gachara, as you're saying, we are looking for people with critical thinking, people who can be able to think beyond thinking. We are looking for candidates who can be able to solve problems and not look at what they have, for example, gone through in terms of the theories, but because the work environment is very dynamic and very changing. Can this candidate be able to apply the problem-solving skills in that he can be able to confidently, solve problems in the best way possible? We also look at the leadership skills. Sometimes we say, now this is for the top management. No, but everyone is a leader in his or her capacity, wherever this person is serving. And for this reason, we are looking for these qualities, attributes of a leader, and they come as a package of soft skills, so that by the end of it all, we have people who are well packaged, who can be able to present the organization in the best way possible. Because again, you find when you talk about the technical skills, it's like everybody has the technical skills, and we can be able to invest further to make those technical skills maybe to be to the level which we want. But these are the soft skills: communication, critical thinking, innovation. Someone who is proactive, proactive in terms of what the young people are saying, kujituma, mtu ambaye anajituma, is really what we are looking for. something that we are looking for, I mean, from the VTCs and even from the universities and colleges to give this kind of graduates to us.
Hata tunaambia watoto wetu wajitume.
Wajitume.
I know maybe some of them are watching us, and we need to tell them wajitume. We had a discussion, a very good discussion today with Mr. Kimathi, and I know you talk about it as a parent. What is it that you need to do? But I would want to encourage our viewers to continue sending their comments, their questions. We are looking at them, and at the end of the, maybe with time we will be addressing them, and even at the end of the show we'll be looking at them. Mr. Ndeti, the big agenda currently, nationally, even at the county, is that the youth need to, it's like a drive, we need to get into vocational training. I know we have a development plan as a county. So tell us, what is the commitment in that CIDP document? What is the commitment of Laikipia County government in terms of what will they do, and what opportunities are there in that document that are addressing the unemployment of the youth, the skills gap in the youth, and in terms of even opportunities, even funding? What is it that the county is talking about in their plan and their commitment?
Okay, in the county integrated development plan of 2022 to 2027, the vocational education and training is well captured. The vision is to enable access, retention, and completion of trainees in vocational training centers. It has two components. One, we call it sub-program. One is called, we are calling it vocational education and training. And the other one is collaboration and partnership. Under this sub-program, we have the key outputs. The key outputs under the vocational education and training is expansion of the vocational training centers. We already have 10. So the CIDP visions that we need to increase it. In the whole of the county, with 15 wards, we only have 10 VTCs. If you break down further to the wards, it is only 8 wards. So 7 wards remains without a VTC. So under the CIDP, one of the output is how do we increase the vocational training centers, which will expand and enable train more youths, give more youths the skills. The target, we have a target of 10 VTC by end of 2027. Probably it could be ambitious, and we have already started it. That one of the ward which lacks a vocational training center, Bokogondo West, we have already constructed one of the VTC to start. Others will be coming. We shall be having Gidega is in the pipeline to start. Now, the other output is increasing enrollment. For the 5 years, we target, can we at least train 5,000 artisans? You see, the more we produce, the better, because the county will have a good source of those particular skills we are lacking. Now, the other thing is, the other output is, these particular trainees, these particular graduates, are they competent and are they employable? So that we do not train for the sake of training. We need to train people who can deliver. Now, the other component, the other output is on collaboration and partnership. We believe that in vocational education and training, you may not achieve a lot unless you start collaborating with the industry. And I'm happy at least one of the industries is in here. St. Martin has come when we need them. This is the collaboration, is part of the target we are having. At least we need to have at least 5 of partners collaboration which will make this program succeed. Now, on terms of funding, you see, the funding is normally broken down. So the estimated cost in this CIDP is 277 million. The beauty thing, once you put the funding in the CIDP, it ensures that vocational education and training will not be left behind. At least the county is doing under the CIDP. It is from the CIDP now we develop the ADP, the Annual Development Plan, which we have to implement all those particular things I've talked about in bits every year. At least we are doing well.
I think you give them good commitments, and I hope the listeners are listening and noting what opportunities are there, the potential that is there, so that we don't also have, we looked at the enrollment and it was around 40%. And we hope by the end of a short while, because the enrollment is already going on, and we even expect another one in this as they open, we are able to fully utilize, so that also we don't have unutilized resources which have already been allocated, but we need to see that what has been allocated is already gaining fruits. And I would wish to acknowledge a number of people who are watching with us. We have Maurice Mutega from Nyahururu, we have Anthony Waigi from Nyahururu, we have Esther Ndumia from Nyahururu, we have Beatrice Ngige from Nyeri, we have Jim Weiss from Manguo, Nyahururu, we have John Green, hajasema anawachia wapi, we have Wangare Muirori from Nyahururu, we have Mariana Ninawaka He, hajasema anawachia wapi, we have Mary Kihara. Mary Kihara, we have rectified the sound problem. We have Esther Maina, who is following the conversation. We have Topaz, but the Topaz is our fan, our big fan, and I see him all the time. So asante sana Topaz. We have Mackenzie, who is watching from Asian. Stephen Kazora, who is following closely. We have Gedenji Geshuru from the Kenge. But there's one young man, and I think this question goes to you, Paul. There's a young man called, but before that I read the comment of Maurice, who says, it is true, I never had the kind of Mwalimu wa maths I hear people talk about. All the teachers I met in my life and early life believed in me and encouraged me to become somebody in life. And I think that is what we see in Maurice today. So, and I hope a lot of teachers can be more of that. He's also saying that he understands your story, your humble beginnings. He was here from 2006, so he's saying, but there's a young man called Liam. And Liam is asking, could you do nini? Maybe you answer the young man.
Liam, kujituma is being proactive. Like for example, if you are doing something, you don't wait to be told to do something, maybe perhaps extra or even better. So unajituma, as in you become proactive, not passive. Liam.
Liam amesikia kujituma ni kujituma, yani kujipeana.
Si ile kujituma kwa duka.
So kama dadi amesema baiskeli imeharibika, anakukuta already unafanya hiyo, ushajituma, sio? Yes, we go back and thank you for those conversations. They are beautiful and they are very interactive. And I want Mr. Kimathi to talk to the young people. And as we talk to the young people, also talk to the parents. A lot of people have maybe for a long time not seen the opportunity that the vocational area has. But listening to your story, I've seen you come from employment to training, to entrepreneurship, to diversification. Now you're doing so many things, to employing Now you are an employer, you know, to a mentor. I know you have mentored a lot of people. So talk to young people and talk to parents.
Thank you, Mary. What I would like to tell the young people is that, in fact, the major problem in our society is people thinking that you are expected to be a super person. You cannot be average. And I think that one also goes to parents, because I think it starts with the parent. The parent will show the child that the only score that can be gotten is A. So if you get anything below A, you get C minus, you are unhappy. Now you are a failure. So in fact, that is where even people, the dying of the people's morale. Because now when your parent expects you to be an A material, then you have scored D+. Now you start seeing yourself as a failure from there. And I think in this world, we need very few managers. Why would we all of us have A's? We become managers and manage work. We need very few managers. What we need is workers. Yeah. And that is why we are there. In fact, if I can go back a bit on my story, I did not perform very well. And the reason why my cousin was trying to send me to that hotel, he didn't want to tell me that I cannot be a teacher. Yeah.
You are.
It was one way of trying to divert me from my expectation, because it was zero. It could not have happened. Because one, in the most important subjects, I had failed. Maths, I had failed. Sciences, 0. But in our time, we never looked at life with the perspective I see today's youth looking at it. We had a lot of hope with life. In fact, I had a Division 3, a very weak Division 3, which I think is a C minus or a D plus, around there. So obviously I could not become a teacher. It was just a wish.
But actually you are.
And now you are a very great teacher.
Yeah.
So but I think we have to
one.
stop being, this conventional thinking, but to see opportunity in every area.
Yeah.
Every area has opportunities.
Because youth, when one is young, there are so many opportunities.
Yes.
And a young person has got a lot of potential in anything.
Lakini hawajitumi.
They don't, hawajitumi. Because, like, now, when I came here, I was quite young when I became the campus chair, right? And when I went around this town, I could see some gaps. And that is what I started working on up to date. Yeah.
Okay.
Because one, I could see people going to Nakuru, the people who are capable financially here, going to Nakuru to buy snacks for the kids. And I asked myself, since I'm a chef, why can't you chip in and start making these snacks at home in their houses? And I started moving in the weekends, and in the evenings.
I think you're introducing something, Mr. Kimathi, even to parents.
Yeah.
That maybe parents need to change their perspective and they need to help their children, so that also we are able to help our children look at possibilities out there. And I just share my experience. I have a daughter who is around 7 years, and one thing I like about her is that her world is full of possibilities.
Yeah.
The first time she told me she wanted to be a doctor and an academician. Then after some time she told me I want to be a medical doctor. Then this holiday she told me she wants to be an artist. She wants to be drawing. And when I look at her and I'm telling her, it is possible to be anything that you want. you have to open your horizons. And I think for parents, this is what maybe our children are looking at. Let us look at the competency, the giftedness of our children. So if your child starts to show signs of being gifted in technology, encourage them. If I have also seen children who, in the evening, they always either taken on the wall and they are commanding everybody, look here, A, B, you know, already encourage them. But at the same time, also let us encourage our children not only to be limited to look at the white collar jobs, but it's possible to be technical. And every time I look at and I share another experience, you need a plumber. And I share our own experience here in Nyahururu. We have very few plumbers. Very few plumbers. And today I want also to talk to the people who are in that vocational or technical field. And it's a gap that we are also seeing, that at times you invite a plumber in your own house, and the way they present themselves, there are some gaps. And I hope even the training that now we are proposing in this project can address those gaps. Let us, and I think we had a breakfast sharing with industry players, and maybe the next breakfast should be with clients. So that now we hear our experience. What is it that we are expecting from these experts? We are almost getting to the end of the show, and I see maybe we need to acknowledge other people who are also saying something. And this is Mr. Ndeti. This goes to you. It's something that you need to take up, but also Paul and your team in the project. There's somebody here called Samuel who is saying, great conversation. Can you consider introducing a foreign language to enlarge the opportunities for the youth? We know there's a lot of labor from abroad, people asking for skilled labor, but you know, the issue of language. So I think a very good comment there. So maybe it can be looked at. Then we have another one called Motahi who says, great show. Mindset and infrastructure are key to unlocking the great potential highly demanded in our economy today. The fact that today plumbers, carpenters, etc. cannot avail themselves immediately is a testimony of the demand of these skills. You are looking for somebody but has so many appointments. Kenyo Shira is watching us from Zagreb. That is not in Kenya, eh?
No.
Hi, Washira. Yeah, then Stephen is agreeing with us. Morris is saying, of course, the world has opportunities for each one of us. Moses Joguna is following. And of course, Stephen is agreeing with the father of Liam that Liam should be allowed to be that professional footballer. Somebody is saying that they lost us, and I know the technical team is already looking at that. You can confirm, the online followers, you can confirm that you are with us. As we move to the end, this last chance.
If you can allow me, I can finish up.
Okay.
Maybe like a minute.
All right.
I was on encouraging the youth. Now, what I would say is that as a youth, one has also to be focused, because opportunities are there. You don't have to grab one, to be one-sided. Because like now I have no energy, but I've been able over time to start quite a number of units in the line of hospitality. And there is demand. There is a lot of demand for that skilled labor from the youth. Like now, right now we are developing a conference center. That conference center means all kinds of artisans. Yeah. From drivers, you need plumbers, you need electricians, you need all that field, like Bwana that was mentioned. Yeah? So it is good for the youth to wake up and be focused. Na watu waache uzembe. Uzembe sio mzuri. Because I can remember like around 1997, 2007, that is when now I composed my empire. Yeah. And I never used to sleep. Because I can remember in 1997 I got a small car. Yeah. I bought a small car with the money in the late going to house to house. And I started carrying taxi around here.
Oh, you've even done taxi?
I've done taxi for some years. Yes, I've done taxi here for some years. In fact, I did almost 10 years. Yes. Okay. Yeah, and I was giving me for myself from around 9 p.m. to midnight. Then I go home, I make some cakes if they are orders. That time, in fact, I was the supplier of the municipality, the council, the chamber, the municipal council chamber. I used to give them tea and snacks when they have the meetings. Yeah. And I do that very early in the morning and I go to work. Okay. Yeah. So, in fact, people should multitask. You cannot make it in this life without doing several things. Especially when you are in this low labor area, you have to do a lot for you to come up financially. One has to really try.
I think you are confirming the issue of entrepreneurship empowerment. So that also people are not only being trained to be employed, but also to create jobs and to be employers.
Self-employment.
Self-employment. It's very important. So Sarah, as we wind up, today you had a very, you just saying that you had a very fulfilling day with instructors. What challenges do you observe in terms of capacities, and what are the thoughts of this project in terms of improving the capacities of instructors so that they can deliver?
Yes, of course, we have a series of trainings, and of course it takes some time to change some attitude, because everyone was taught in the same way. So it's difficult to change. So the project is training them. We are even in contact with CDEC, that they get a training on how to assess the CBET curriculum, and we are going to develop a life skills manual so that the teachers, the instructors are able to teach life skills, but in teach life skills or to facilitate the development of life skills, let's say so. Yes, this is what
so I think
the project is aiming at in this area.
So not only looking at the capacities, but also the attitudes, because also we are products of a system.
Yes.
That we are taught that it's the teacher who says, who stands and they say, that is what we received ourselves. If now we became instructors, we expect to do the same. But I think it has to start with adopting that there could be a different way.
Yes, and understanding how learning takes place. What do students need in order to learn and to develop some skills? And I'm starting with that. And to encourage them to put it into practice, even today they planned together some sessions that they practice a little bit. And then I am also offering that I observe them and then I give feedback. So it will be a kind of process. Because, as you said, everyone was taught the same way, even at university level. So to change this, it takes some effort, and yes. But I think convincing them that it's important, and I think they are convinced, and now it's the next step to move forward, practice the approaches.
Okay. And Paul,
Yes.
if you're given a chance today, and now you have a chance, you are because we have even started to receive the students who are coming for TVET from TVET institutions for their attachments. We'll also be able to employ people who have been from VTC. If you talk to them now, what can you tell them are the skills that they need to start to invest in? What has been neglected? What needs to be given the priority? And so that we can start to change the labor force that we start to see coming out from these institutions.
I would look at that from two perspectives beyond the skills, and look at the partners, the industry, because it's us who are welcoming these people from these technical schools, opening doors for these young people. Opening doors in terms of welcoming them to gain some of these skills that we are saying they lack, because we have these skills, we have this technical know-how, we know what we want, but perhaps there is that gap between us and the colleges, the VTCs and the like. And my desire is to see us working together, so that what we need, we can be able to agitate, change of curriculum. We can be able to like the way, what Sarah is doing, to start producing the people that we want. Not as if they come and then say, these are not the kind of people we are looking for. That kind of a partnership. You have talked about attachments, interns, and this kind of exposure for the students, but I have been looking at the whole system of the attachments and the like today in St. Martin, we have welcomed around eight of them to come into our various programs. But I've been asking myself, what does 3 months mean for industrial attachment? Is it really enough? Because I think this is what we have been relying on, as in we are sending this youth to the industries to acquire skills, to learn the art of the industries, to acquire the work etiquette and the like. But is 3 months enough? In actual sense, you find, for example, they even don't say 3 months. They talk about 8 weeks. 8 weeks is too short for an artisan to learn anything, because within the first 2 weeks is induction. The first 2 weeks is familiarizing themselves with the industry. Half month is gone. The next 1 month is now acclimatizing themselves to the dynamics of the organization in terms of work. So by the time they are gaining momentum, the time is gone. My desire is to see that kind of a partnership whereby we will, of course, open the doors, but even the policy makers look at this issue of attachment. I think for the technical aspects, 3 months is not enough. 3 months is not enough. And sometimes we feel we are releasing them having not even known us. And I think it's very ironical, because the colleges, the VTCs sent these people to us to learn from us, to learn the art of doing things, but within no short time, the time is gone and they go away. But on terms of the skills that I think we need to emphasize more on are the digital skills. There is no work that you will do, even from the industry, when you don't have these digital skills. And I wish and I desire that the young people, even if, for example, it's not given in the VTCs or in the colleges, the concept that we are saying of being proactive, how can you be able to acquire them? can you be able to acquire these digital skills elsewhere? I believe critical thinking and problem solving is something that one can be able to learn, and is maybe something which you can say sometimes is inborn, but I believe, I'm a believer that critical thinking is something that you can learn, is something that you can train yourself. Of course, communication skills is something that you cannot negotiate much, even though maybe it's not enough from the curriculum, from the colleges and the VTCs. I think communication is something that one can purpose to learn, and even to have or acquire the skills of expressing yourselves in writing and even in oratory. Maybe I also think we also need to try to have this kind of a collaborative approach, whereby as the industry players, we have a channel of communication with the VTCs and the colleges, so that we can be able to give them the feedback. Because again, you find when they send their attaches to us, they normally come for 1 hour, as in within 1 hour, they want to have a session with the student. Within 1 hour, they also want feedback from the organization, and that is practically impossible. But again, you find if there is a channel of communication between the industry and the industry producing these students and this youth, then we can be able to tell them that we need this in the industry. We need this kind of a skill, we need this kind of a soft skill in this industry. Maybe to sum it all, we cannot underrate the role of soft skills, and we need to invest much on this, because as much as the technical skills are important, again you find soft skills that bring the aspect of teamwork, proactiveness is also something that we need to think about. We cannot really ignore. I believe if we are able to synthesize all these, maybe we can be able to see our youths being aggressive in the job market, and even for us in the industry, we can be able to see them not as a liability, but as an asset to us.
Sarah, I wish to be prepared to talk something really brief about the duvet. As I read some comments here, because you'll be taking the last round of your parting shots, what is it that you want, as we end the show, what is it that you wish to share with the viewers? And somebody, Gidenji is saying, he takes two things home, the issues of collaboration that you talked about, but he also notes that what Mr. Kimathi has said, we need workers, more workers than more managers. Yeah. And then the third thing that he says he takes home is we should see opportunity in every area. Margaret Mwangi is also watching us and following us from Nakuru. Somebody is asking, Mr. Kimathi, where are you putting the conference center? Where you mention it as you do around. Then Stephen is saying, in fact, he's just saying, he's a young person, and he says, myself being one of the youth there, we just need, for most of us, we just need somebody to show us the way. And then he's also agreeing that he has a lot of faith. Now with the introduction of CBC in the country, more skills will be unveiled, and in some years to come, we are going to see a difference. So we start with you, Sarah, your parting shot, and Inette, put the duvet, the concept of duvet.
The concept of the duvet is about learning in two areas, at the college or at the VTC at the same time, or in terms VTC and then the industry. So that the two are connected. So actually in Germany we have this concept as well, and I know that it's here in Kenya it's discussed a lot. On national level, everywhere it's discussed. Now in our project we will pilot it here in our two VTCs we are working with. We are, even today we discussed how can we implement, because we met the industries and then we have now to match the two. How can we do, and this is what we are doing. So learning is taking place, a combination of practice and BTC.
And
This
it's
is to
not
do
the
with it.
attachment, eh?
It's not
the
attachment.
that you're
It's
used to.
no.
It's part of learning.
It's
But
part
maybe
of the curriculum.
one
No.
week you're here, 1 week you're there.
Yeah, there are different models. And we have
Yes.
the model that they are only for a few days in the field or in the industry, and then in the college. Then we have a block model where we have one block, maybe one term in industry and one term in college. So it's part of the curriculum. It's not learning at the BTC and then going to the practice. No, we do it integrated so that we learn from that.
We should go back to school, Paul. Eh?
Yes.
I think it will be very interesting. Eh?
Yes.
Yeah,
It will be
sure.
very interesting, and you have a feel of both. Eh?
Yeah.
Yes, and you learn also, it's also the motivation. If you know how I have to behave when I want to deal with a client, you see it in the industry. You don't, it doesn't matter if your instructor is telling you, you have to communicate well, but no, you see
You're
it,
doing.
you feel it, you practice it, and then you say, okay, I need to learn a little bit more on this skill. I have to improve because I want also to be like him. Yes.
Yeah, in fact, Maurice is saying, I like the do of it concept. Nyahururu and Rumuruti are lucky to be the pilot. Eh? Yeah, and we hope that even as the project progresses and comes to completion, it's a possibility for it to be upscaled and replicated. And I hope that maybe one day we'll say that Laikipia County did something to the TVET curriculum or the TVET experience in Kenya. Shiko Kamindo is watching us from Mombasa. Thank you very much. Over to you. Simon Maina is saying, thanks Sarah for demonstrating the concept of duobet using a German example. So somebody is appreciating you there. So Mr. Kimadi, as you give your parting shot, somebody is asking you, where is this conference center?
We are developing it just here in town at the former county council headquarters behind the post office. So that is where we are. And we welcome anyone who is interested in seeing what we can do. You can take them down.
Maybe
You can as well engage them if they have the interest to work.
Paul, you already seen an opportunity there.
Yes.
Project in terms of collaboration. It's near here where duobet can really happen there.
Yeah, because we have, in fact, right now we have started accommodation. Accommodation is ongoing now. So we also need attendance. Or one can come and learn how it is done. And we want to do it differently in this town, because you can, as you can witness, there is a time people venture into accommodation in the streets, and people have one type of structural design, whereby even getting room for having a meeting for 3-4 people or having space has been a problem. So we want to do it differently, such that you can even do team building, and at the same time put up there. Yeah. So we want to do it differently. Yeah, we have a different perspective.
And thank you for that opportunity for collaboration. I know before we meet up, somebody is also saying that they are going to come and sample it. Somebody is already saying that. Yeah.
What I would say to the youth is that we as parents, we are also parents, they should come forth and learn from us what we are doing, and at least they can get the encouragement to also move and try to learn how to see opportunities and take advantage of them, because that is the only way to move, especially when you are a service provider, when you are in the labor industry. You have to know where the opportunities are, and you have to be ready to work. Yeah.
Mr. Ndeti.
Yes, probably I want to start by acknowledging about one of the video who talked about introducing foreign language. It's an area which probably you have never worked, but let me thank him for, we shall look at it and see how it shall be implemented. I would like to mention that there is a policy we are developing. It's actually in the pipeline. We are expecting once it goes through the approval processes, there will be a shaker in the vocational education and training in the county. Probably to conclude is, I would like to say TVET is the way to go. We have to change our attitudes. Even if we reach a time when we have a hybrid, where even if you go to the normal education system, there is no harm once you also have a technical skills. But that's if we want any progress to our country, there is no way we can ignore TVET. Is the way to go.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ndeti. Paul, your closing remarks?
Yeah, mine is to appreciate every young person who is listening to us, and more particularly to those who are in the vocational training centers, who are doing the vocational courses, to appreciate them for that bold move. And to reiterate what Bonadette is saying, we cannot do without these vocational skills. And even for those who are at university level or college and these other institutions of higher learning, also to welcome them to do these vocational skills, because for us from the HR desk we normally ask, what do you have that will differentiate you from the others? Given to graduates who have done, for example, social work and community development, who have qualified in terms of papers, and one of them has done an extra course in plumbing, I'll be a bit soft to the one who has done plumbing. So just to encourage the young people, if you have an opportunity, if you have resources, kindly do something extra. Do something extra.
That is great, That is great. And as we wind up, I just share something for the youth. And I remember one time we went to Muruti and we were having a show in one of the radio stations there. And one of the people that we were talking with is a young man who has done computer science and has graduated with a degree. And now has come back to his village, and there is a BTC there, and he has enrolled. In fact, he has graduated now, I think. Yeah. Enrolled for electrical installation. And you know, I looked at him, and you are the ambassador that we need to talk to the young people. And maybe one of these days we are going to bring him here so that he can also share his own experience. And in fact, he was just saying that. Kwa nasema, mimi sasa nikienda interview, I have my degree, and then I'll produce your certificate. Na alikuwa amesema atafanya grades zote 3. So atakuwa na gapi? Certificates gapi? And he says, we have learned a lot of theory in the university. But here in the VTC, I'm doing practical skills. So tukiambiwa, one of the interview question is to install something, chap itakuwa nimefanya, but it's something that I just did for 3 months. The fees is affordable, so we wish to encourage the young people embrace vocational training, because it is opening a lot of doors. Somebody is saying here, Mr. Kimathi, thank you for opening doors to the youth. The youth should walk faster, but the elderly knows the way. You are a great person. So somebody Another one is saying, thanks team, Mr. Ndeti, Madofe, Kimathi and Gachara, the youth who are still in the process of exploring their abilities. Somebody also was saying, great that you are talking about dual learning, which is very beneficial to the current learners, whereby they get on-job training while they are still in schools. And dear viewers, we come to the end of the show today. And our desire is that this show will be a weekly show. And in the comment section, let us know which day would you prefer and what time would you prefer. Of course, in the evenings, we are exploring maybe Thursday and Tuesdays. In the evening, let us know in the comments so that we are able to reach more people with this message. And we also thank you, our panelists, Sarah, Mr. Kemadi, Mr. Betty, and Paul. Behind the scenes, we have Alice and Waigi and Nicholas, and we wish to, and also the people who are ensuring that we have everything set here, and we are enjoying this moment. So we want to thank you a lot. Thank you, our viewers, for remaining with us, for contributing, and as somebody said, Sarah also. For contributing, remaining with us, and to ensure that it has been beautiful. I think it was nice hosting you, eh? You made it nice, you made it easy. So until next time, bye bye. Asante.
Asante.
Asante.